bright like a burnt out star from a distant scene. I'll be gone a long time before you realise you're missing me. Only then will you look into my history, and if you see all that's been achieved, maybe then you'll feel regret. Now, that's not what I wish to be. A trigger for sweet misery. I simply need to give up these opinions and express that every day I've lived to breathe, I've wondered if I did succeed. Would this world have given me a better tasting breath? Cause every inhale fills my lungs with bitterness. Since I was a kid, I've just worked to get my lyrics up to standard, scribbled such intricate pictures, but managed to slip under the dripping pit of that unoriginal, influenced, average, satirical, backwards syllabus of rap shit. The craft is no longer more important than the antics. See, I could be the best, but if there ain't no way to package it, no one outside my circle can have a bit, and that is shit. Like Simon Cowell judging Susan Boyle at a glance of his, then sending DJ Talent to the finals for his catchiness. Nelly's near a household name. Soulja Boy had smash hits, and most of you might never know who Jest or Jam Baxter is. If Jay Severe had had the chance at it, the scene would smash to bits. Poisonous Poets had to split while N-Dub's got plaques to lift. Kanye on production tracks are sick, but cannot rap for shit. Iggy and Nicki turned masses of fans to this plasticness. Talent is confused with popularity too often. The internet ever lets us track the numbers watching, they're following. Where waves of faceless trolls can get to commenting. Egos fed on view counts when pride's in need of swallowing. We're grovelling, like Marvin's better than his. How come it's only 70 hits? You taking the piss? Artists find themselves borrowing the styles of others' chains and whips, enslaved to this matrix. The way they look, the way they spit, defined by others' options as they hope. Maybe that'll gain some notoriety. They clone what's existing and offer no variety. Originality lies choking on an island's beach under a blue sky that beams, getting drowned out by a violent sea. This paradise had to adapt with time, and now it isn't. What once was a beautiful game is now a way of business. Where once upon a time, they would ask if you could kick it. Nowadays, without the right kit, it's impossible to pitch it. So yeah, I'm whinging, because I think it's such a shame. Some of the greatest brains to grace this place will struggle all the way, or be forced to give up on their dreams when it fails to pay. Well, talentless celebrities are chugging down champagne. Maybe I could play the game, just gotta lose a bit of weight, save up some wage for a PR and marketing campaign, kiss a lot of ass, and say exactly what I'm told to say. Get a gimmick or two, wrapped up with a catchphrase. See, I find time to create, but I lack the motivation to network and play the game. With that, I grow impatient when so-called talent scouts and support organisations won't take on an artist without a profile they can gain from. I've been dropped by agents, rejected for funding. Sorry, Mr. Riccardi, how will your project engage the public? I've been independent all my life, I never asked for nothing, and when I do reach out for help, I get shunted. So yeah, I'm mad and twisted up. I'd say that I don't give a fuck, but that's a lie, we know it, right? You want some realness? Listen up. I'm this close to giving up. The distance of my finger in the middle of my hand raised, waving at this thing I loved. I hate to say goodbye, but it's starting to feel like I'm wasting time. I gave my life to lyrics and all I got is a wave of rhymes. Aim so high but failed to find a place I like to take my side. Panic paddling as my river of inspiration dries. Pull my boat to the coast with people sailing by, waving like I chose the wrong route to reach my destination, while I'm overtaken by cruising cruise ships and jets that breach the sky. My one-man kayak and all now seem less than right. I'm left to write love poems to a game that never loved me back. My knuckles crack around the pen, treasure in my sunken pad. It first was seen as stress relief. My pressured chest had bust its latch. I fought for affection that was not returned, but such is rap. Enough of that. I'm done trying to please a scene so stubborn that it looks at me before it hears my skill and makes a judgment. Like, because of where I come from, I'm just some country bumpkin. Nah, I can bar with the best of them, and that is not assumption, and that is not arrogance. No, that is a real fact. Fuck every single one of you who told me I'm not real rap, and it's not like that's something I ever pretended to be. Just the fact you feel you are credible to define that offends me. You cannot own an art form. There is no right opinion. You are entitled to yours as I am entitled to be indifferent. I call myself a rapper because I wouldn't call this singing. That seemed the closest pigeonhole. It's poetry to rhythm. Of course I'd like people to listen to my form of entertainment, but unfortunately for me, not all that many people rate it. Now, I control my work, and I could make the choice to change it, but that would be fake, and it is not the way I'll play this.